and exploitation of oil resources in parts of the world, such as West Africa, have taught us that it's not only roses. So how can we as a country ensure that oil doesn't become a curse?
To experts, it's by picking those resources realized out of the oil and gas subsector to drive other critical sectors of the economy. And for Uganda's case, that will be agriculture.
We were meeting out of the 9 districts that make the Greater Bunyoro, we had about 5 Kakumiro, Hoima district, Kibale, Kagadi, and which other one? I think those are the 5. Our role coming here is to popularize and sensitize the masses, especially the leadership, political leadership. We had MPs, we had the local government chairpersons, secretaries for production, commercial officers, and the other private sector organizations that are into business. We've done this in collaboration with Bunyoro Business Forum, which is the business arm of the Chamber of Commerce of this region, Bunyoro region. So as Warehouse Receipt System Authority, our job is to promote, sensitize the masses, and we promote the warehouse receipt system across the board. Bunyoro is one of the big producer areas of cereals, of pulses, of grains, and all these products besides oil. And the warehouse receipt system is looking at, we have keen interest in the storage infrastructure across the region. You know, this is an area where you used to have the Bunyoro Growers Cooperative Union, Kakumiro Growers Cooperative Union, all old, currently dilapidated and not in so good organized state. We are looking at the private sector also, where they can contribute as far as our requirements are concerned in terms of storage infrastructure. That's why we've been with the Business Forum. The opportunity is to invest in storage in this area, in this region, and embrace the warehouse receipt system, whereby farmers can come through, deposit their commodities, be able to get the receipts, the warehouse receipts, and use those receipts as collateral against which financing can be advanced to them. We've been working with commercial banks. We had commercial banks in our engagement, and these are financial institutions willing to receive the warehouse receipts and discount them and provide funding against these commodities. So we are looking at the credible warehouses that can actually store these commodities in good conditions, observe the quality requirements we expect, keep the standards, observe all these requirements we have and the standards we government prescribes, and be able to generate receipts and give them to farmers, and then farmers get advances. And then we are looking at how we can promote marketing for these commodities, because the good markets we have are looking for volumes and volumes of good quality. So how do you do that? You have farmers aggregating together, and then you have storage facilities with capacity to clean, dry, and improve on quality or enhance quality, and then the people or the markets that are interested in volumes of good quality will have those as service centers. All the time, instead of running around the villages looking for small quantities, just come to a licensed and certified warehouse, pick the good volumes and of good tonnage of good quality. The difference between warehouse receipt system and cooperatives is the similarity. We are not looking for new things, but we are bringing the operations to be, we are proposing operating differently. Cooperatives used to concentrate on their members. I do cleaning and marketing and everything for my members. We are actually asking cooperatives to open up and provide a service generally to members and to non-members. And in the old cooperative arrangement, the cooperatives would buy from members. Here we are telling cooperatives, be the unit or the conduit through which members can trade through you. They don't have to sell to you, but they can sell through you. That's the difference, and this is what has brought in the vibrancy in the whole cooperative movement.
Uganda has been known as a food basket, but we are, however, losing that seat.
Besides the impact of climate change on agriculture, we haven't done much to actually structure and standardize our production processes. across the agricultural value chain. Grain, especially maize, is increasingly becoming a major cash crop for a number of regions in Uganda as its prices steadily increase and stabilize. To the Greater Bunyoro sub-region, the crop is now a key contributor to the local GDP as more people participate in its production and demand for it expands across the region.
Bunyoro in 2018 produced about 260,000 metric tons, that contributing about 21% of the total maize produced in Uganda. 260 metric tons, if you say 1,000 is the farm gate price, you will get 260 billion Bunyoro.
The challenge, though, is that a lot of dividends from the crop seem lost across the value chain, with little trickling down to the farmers.
So we realize that the quality of lives of our people is really mandatory. And so whoever is willing to help us improve the quality of lives of our people is our friend and will be our partner. And that's why in our plan, we have the objective of strengthening strategic partnership.
The other challenge is the price collapse sometimes during the bumper harvest.
First of all, Bunyoro, like much of Uganda, is predominantly agricultural. We do a lot of agriculture and especially produce cereal crops, maize, beans, groundnuts, and others. And one of the biggest challenges we've had is especially when there is a bumper harvest, many times our prices are too low that you cannot even get sometimes half of the investment you did.
The kingdom is now rooting for strategic partnerships to have a change of the state of affairs. The other area of intervention is for farmers to organize under groups to easily access both support and markets.
There are people who are going to come from elsewhere. They get into the region of Bunyoro. They are going to need food. And the food we are talking of 3 meals a day. And there will require food supplies, quality foods. And our people have the capacity. Though they might not raise the quality, the quantity that is required, but at least we have been guided well that if at all we can constitute cooperatives or organized groups, then we should be able to go.
These issues were raised during the Great Bunyoro Business Forum meetings organized by the Warehouse Resources Systems Authority.
Bringing on board all stakeholders, I think now it has given us enough courage when we are now going to further sensitize the farmers, telling them how this system works, telling them the good government programs that are now available for them. I think the post-harvest handling challenges are automatically going to be answered. Because what I know, when the farmers are told that when you produce good quality products and this is the market, this is the price, at the end of it all, the farmers must put in much efforts. For instance, a colleague gave an example of a first grade, because people know that when you are in school and that to acquire a first grade, you must have 85 plus. Then every student works for that. And now for our farmers also, once they know that if you want to sell first-class products and you're going to get such a big price, this is what you're supposed to do. I think it's going to be very easy for us.
The authority looks at bolstering structured commodity trading, especially grain. It looks at helping farmers bulk their produce and keeping it in a licensed warehouse, where it is graded and they're given a warehouse receipt, which can be used to look for markets or used in banks as collateral.
And so when you come together like this, through such a system, you are able to put together all your produce, hold it for some time, to wait for prices to appreciate. And when you have reached a certain level where prices are good, then you are able to do what? To sell off. But if you produce and the prices are good straight away, then you don't need to do what? To hold it for a time. And in such a system, there is a provision of microfinance or financing institutions who can even use your receipt as collateral, as security, in form of like you can have a title to secure some money.